Gizzy. I love the way pugs just kind of lay their face right on the floor. Hey, you can probably hear it. I've got the generator running tonight. Also, the air conditioner running. It's been pretty hot here in Wisconsin. But I'm going to do a quick video. And let me get in front of the camera here. So anyway, I'm going to do a quick video tonight because I don't know how many people know it, but I've been diagnosed, or have been diagnosed as being type 2 diabetic back in 2002. And I discovered, you know, my blood sugar was so out of control. My A1C was like 13.5%, which to a diabetic means that basically your blood has got so much sugar in it, it's like corn syrup. And rarely when you have blood sugar that high are you able to control it with diet and exercise alone. So I started out on some medication, and within a few months I changed my diet to a very low carb, higher fat diet. I think what they refer to mainly today as a keto type of diet. And it worked. And it worked for years and years, and I'm a pilot, so if I have to take insulin, that's the end of my flying. So fast forward to this year, and I had started over the last year or two, mainly as I moved into the RV, of letting some carbs slip back into my diet, and they are so satisfying. It's really difficult to go long term not eating carbs, but you know, I had done it for like 12 years. So one day I noticed that, hey, my pants are a little bit loose, or my belt, and I thought, that's, you know, interesting. Maybe I've been getting more exercise. And then I thought, no, you know, I'm not a weight loser type person. I am a constant weight gainer. So you know, it dawned on me that, hey, I better check my blood sugar. And sure enough, it was just way out of control. I hadn't checked it for over a year. And when I went to the doctor to try and help get it back down, because it wasn't going down no matter what I did in my diet, it wasn't changing fast enough, I didn't think. So I went to the doctor, and they put me on some medicine called metformin, and then I kept doing my you know, keto, quote unquote, keto diet, and now everything's back to normal, and I just have to stay on that crappy ass diet for the rest of my life. I don't have any choice in the matter. So my idea of carbs are things like green beans, asparagus, you know. Off the list are like potatoes, you know, rice, absolute no-nos for me because it's like eating sugar. So one of the things I miss is having kind of a rich candy. You know, you can get sugar-free hard candies and some other chocolate ones, but they really disrupt your digestive system. So I kind of tend to stay away from those. But I discovered one thing that I whipped together, and man, I just love it. It's fantastic. And what I've done is I've combined vanilla that we get when we're down in Mexico in Los Algodones with butter and cinnamon and a little artificial sweetener. And I mix that all together, and it makes almost like a candy. It's very, very rich. I mean, you just eat a tiny bite of it. So I thought I'd just share whipping that up real quick. And in the case that you're diabetic and can't have real candy, or you're doing a keto diet to lose weight or something, the only thing in this is fat. So it'll give you a little energy, but I think you'll like it. So here's how to make it. So we're going to start out with these basic 4 ingredients, and I usually use 2 of these little packets. And I'm going to turn that around so I can see whether you can actually see what I'm talking about here. All right, so I've got real vanilla straight from Mexico. Apparently it's expensive in the US. I don't know. I don't usually do much shopping or anything. Then of course, just your basic ground cinnamon. In this case, we're going to go with half a stick of butter. And I use 2 of these sweetener packets, the standard blue, whatever they are. I don't use Splenda. For some reason, Splenda didn't seem to work as well, so I just use this standard stuff here. It's easy to do over the stove, but since I've got the generator running with air conditioning going on, we're going to just use the microwave. So, and this is a little less than half a stick of butter, but close enough. So I turned the microwave on for 2 minutes, which is way more than enough to melt that butter. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it, and when it's melted, I'll call it good. I don't know if anybody else loves these things like I do, but these convection oven microwave combinations are fantastic. And we do have a real oven down where the stove is as well. But for smaller things, you know, you can just fire it right up and either bake something or go ahead and do the microwave if you want something quick. So I can see it starting to foam up a little bit. So that's good. So we're going to start with what I would call about a half a tablespoon or a couple of teaspoons, maybe just a heaping teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm going to use a fork for this. And I'll make sure that you can see this. So I'm just going to stir that into that melted butter. And now probably this is going to amount to 1/4 of a teaspoon or maybe even less, but it turns out that the vanilla is critical for how good this tastes when you're done with it. All right, next on the ingredient list, a little sweetener. My idea of sugar, and the reason, by the way, that I'm diabetic is because I ate a lifetime's worth of sugar in half a lifetime. So I kind of get what I deserve. So I just kind of tasted that, and I think that's pretty decent. I think that's going to work. It's plenty sweet. It's got cinnamon. It's got that good vanilla flavor. Maybe just a tad more vanilla. I probably just overdid it, but not sure what too much vanilla is going to do other than make it taste better. Okay, that's pretty good. So there it is. It's just a brown liquid. Now here's the deal. The stuff that I've added, the vanilla and the cinnamon, will not stay in suspension. So what we're going to do is chill this and let it solidify a little bit, and before it gets completely solid, I'm going to occasionally stir it so that I can keep that stuff suspended in the final product. So into the freezer we're going to go with it. Okay, it is now in the freezer, and we're going to leave that in there. I think probably about 5 or 10 minutes. I'll go back and check on it again. Okay, I took this out of the refrigerator, or freezer rather, and if you look from the side you can see that the butter's congealing on top, and it's leaving the cinnamon and vanilla down in the bottom of this container. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a fork and stir that up a little bit. There we go. I took it and just using my fork stirred that butter back in and created a more uniform mixture of everything. Now when I put that in the refrigerator, because it's already thickened up with that butter that had solidified, it'll stay mixed together now. I don't have to worry about it. I can just put it in the refrigerator and let it harden. And that's where I'll keep it. And then I just dig a little piece out of it every so often and help myself to what amounts to a piece of keto candy. Here's what an earlier batch I made kind of looks like. And I just use a fork and break a piece out of there. Doesn't light up very well, does it? It looks like a little piece of fudge or something. Anyway, good stuff. Be the star of the YouTube show. What are you up to? My goodness, you're a handsome boy.